Hello everyone, my name is Naveen Singh. I'll be taking physics for DMLT and paramedical courses. Today we'll begin with the chapter number 1 of the physics, that is Introduction to the Physics. That is, we'll begin with the chapter number 1. Chapter number 1, that is Introduction to Physics. Okay. Before that, we'll see the what is physics and its branches. So let us learn about physics. So basically the question arises like this: define physics and explain the branches of physics. So let us learn about physics. So first thing, so let us learn about physics. So then first thing, what is physics? Basically, physics is a branch of science that deals with a matter and its relation to the energy. That is, physics. Physics is a branch of science, the branch of science that deals with matter and its relation to energy So basically it is a branch of science that deals with matter and its relation to energy. So basically it involves study of physics and natural phenomena. That is, basically it involves physical and natural phenomena. So let us learn about the examples of natural phenomena. So examples are let us see some of the examples. That is basically formation of, we'll study in physics, we'll study about formation of rainbow, or occurrence of ellipse, sorry, not ellipse, eclipse, occurrence of eclipse, or you can say formation of shadow, etc. Formation of shadow. So these are the some of the phenomena we'll discuss in physics: formation of shadow, etc. So let us learn about branches of physics. So let us learn about the branches of physics. The branches of physics are branches of physics. So first branch is classical physics. So we'll learn some of the branches of physics. First branch is classical physics. So first thing, classical physics. In classical physics, it is also a branch of physics which mainly concerned with the law of motion of gravitation. Basically, classical physics, it mainly is a branch of physics that mainly concerned or deals with laws of motion and gravitation, or you can say Sir Isaac Newton's law of gravitation, or you can say and also it is classical physics. Also in this we'll learn about Maxwell's kinetic theory. Also we'll learn about Maxwell's kinetic theory. So basically in this classical physics, we'll learn about laws of motion and also Isaac Newton's law of gravitation, or you can say, and also we'll learn about Maxwell's kinetic theory. And on the last but not least, we'll also learn about thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is basically study of heat. Thermo means heat. Thermodynamics. So in this, we'll learn about thermodynamics as well. So this is called classical physics. Basically, classical physics is a branch of branch of physics that deals with laws of motion, and you can and the next one is Isaac Newton's law of gravitation or Maxwell's kinetic energy theory, and also study of thermodynamics. Basically, these are the branches of physics. So these are all come under classical physics. Next one we'll learn about modern physics. Modern physics. In modern physics, so basically modern physics is also a branch of physics which mainly concerned with the theory of relativity. That is, it deals with, or you can say it concerned with theory of relativity. Theory of relativity. Theory of relativity and quantum mechanics. And quantum mechanics. So modern physics basically concerned with theory of relativity and quantum mechanics. So these are the two concepts. These are main two concepts in the modern physics. So the Albert Einstein and Maxwell were the two pioneer in modern physics. So basically, the important scientists in the modern physics are Albert Einstein, and Max Planck. These were the two important scientists in modern physics. Next branch of physics is nuclear physics. The third branch of physics is nuclear physics. So in nuclear physics, basically it is a branch of physics that deals with constituent. It deals with constituents, structure, behavior, and interaction of atomic nuclei. So in modern physics, it is basically constitution. In modern physics, we'll learn about constituents, structure, behavior, or interactions of atomic nuclei. So basically, in nuclear physics, we'll learn about. So we can write the definition like this. Nuclear physics is a branch of physics which deals with the constituent, structure, behavior, and interaction of atomic nuclei. So this is the definition of atomic physics. Next, the next branch of physics is atomic physics. Atomic physics. So in atomic physics, so as we can define atomic physics like this. Atomic physics is a branch of physics that deals with, or we can say that concerned with, composition of atom apart from nucleus. That deals with composition of atom apart from nucleus. Apart from nucleus. So atomic physics, it is mainly concerned with arrangement and behavior of electron in the shell of shell around the nucleus. Basic atomic physics deals with, for example, this is an atom. So this is a nucleus. Nucleus will be surrounded by many shells, or you can say orbits. So electron will be revolving around it. So electron will be revolving around the nucleus of an atom, right? So in atomic physics, we'll mainly concerned with the arrangement and behavior of electron in the shell. So we'll study the behavior of electron in the shell around the nucleus. So fifth branch of physics is geophysics. The fifth branch of physics is geophysics. So geo means earth. So basically geo means earth. So we can define like this. Geophysics is a branch of physics. Geophysics is a branch of physics that deals with, or you can say, study of earth. It is a study of earth. It mainly concerned with the shape, mainly concerned with this geophysics, mainly concerned with shape, structure, and composition of earth. Okay, this mainly deals with the shape, structure, and composition of earth. It also studies the gravitational force. In geophysics, we can study. We'll also study about gravitational force of earth, or in this we can study gravitational force of earth, force of earth, comma, gravitational force of earth, magnetic field. We'll learn magnetic field, or you can say magnetic field of earth, magnetic field of earth, or earthquake, earthquake. Right. Earthquakes, or study of magma. In this, we'll study the magmas, eruption of volcanoes, etc. Okay. Uh, Basically, geophysics is a branch of earth. A branch of physics. Basically, it is a study of earth. Geophysics is a branch of physics that deals with mainly study of earth. In this, basically deals with the shape, structure, and composition of earth. So in geophysics, we'll study about gravitational force of earth, magnetic field of earth. We'll also study about earthquake, magmas, and eruption of volcanoes. Next branch of the sixth branch of physics is biophysics. In biophysics, basically biophysics can be defined like this. It is an interdisciplinary study. Interdisciplinary study of it is an interdisciplinary study of what? It is a study of biological phenomena, biological phenomena, uh, uh, interdisciplinary study of biological phenomenon, and the problems using principle and techniques of physics. principles and techniques of physics. Technique of physics. Okay. Next branch we'll study about is mechanics, and the last branch we'll study about in this branch of physics is mechanics. And the seventh branch of physics is mechanics. So in mechanics, it is a we can define the mechanics like this. Mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with the motion of material objects under the influence of force. So we can define like this: mechanics is a branch of physics which deals with motion of material objects motion of material objects under the influence of force. Under the influence of force. So basically, this mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with the motion of objects under the influence of force. So this mechanics is having two branches. Again, that's mechanics is divided into two branch. Mechanics is divided into two branch. The first branch is classical mechanics. The first branch is classical mechanics, and the second one is quantum mechanics. So basically, classical mechanics, classical mechanics is a branch of mechanics that deals with the law of motion of physical objects. It deals with laws of motion of physical objects and the forces that causes motion. So classical mechanics is a branch of mechanics that deals with, or you can say, study of motion of physical objects and the force that causes motion. And the second one is quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is a branch of mechanics that deals with the behavior of smallest particle. It deals with behavior of smallest particle. It deals with the study of behavior of smallest particle, that is proton particles, that is proton, neutron, and electron. So this is the complete answer of the physics and its branches. Let us move on to the next question. The next question will discuss about the units of length, mass, and time. Question number 2 will discuss about, so you can say the question arises like this: describe the units of length, mass, and time. So let us write the solution, or you can say answer of this. So first, one by one we'll discuss. First, in current SI system, that is current system of unit. In the current system of unit, it has basically three standard units. First one is mass, second one is length, third one is time. These are the three standard, or you can say standard units. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. Okay, So the standard units of mass is kg. Standard unit of length is meter, and standard unit of time is seconds. Okay, these are the standard units of mass, length, time. These three units form MK system. This is called M. These three unit form MKS system. It is meter. That is MK system. This is meter. Meter, kg, seconds. This is the MK system. Okay, or you can say metric system, or we can also call it as metric system. Metric system. So first one by we'll discuss. First thing we'll discuss about length. These are the three basic quantities are length, mass, and time. First one is length. Length, the unit of length is meter. The SI unit of length is meter, or it can be represented like this, small m. Okay. Currently it is defined currently it is defined as the distance of light that travels in 1 by uh, 1 by 3 into 10 raised power of 8 per second of a second. That is, length can be defined like this. No, it can be defined as the distance that light travels in 1 by 3 into 10 raised power of 8 8 of the second. Okay, we'll see some of the small quantities of the length. So first one is decimeter. Decimeter can be represented in small d, and the factor is 10 raised to the power of -1. The next one is centimeter. Next one is centimeter, and it can be represented like this. The symbol. This is symbol, and this is factor, and this is prefix name. Okay. Symbol is small d, and factor is 10 raised to the power of centi is small c, and it can be represented as 10 raised to the power of -2. And next one is millimeter. Millimeter, and it can be represented by small m, and the unit the factor of this is 10 raised to the power of -3. Next one is micrometer, or simply micrometer. Micrometer can be represented by mu, that is 10 raised to the power of -6. Next one is nano. Next one is nanometer. Nanometer, that can be the symbol of that will be small n, and factor is 10 raised to the power of -9. Next one is angstrom. Angstrom, capital, it is denoted by capital A, and the factor is 10 raised to the power of -10. Next one is femto. Femto, it is represented by small f, and it can be represented by the factor 10 raised to the power of -15. And the biggest units are kilometer, represented by km, small k, small m, and it is represented by 10 raised to the power of plus 3. So these are the negative, these are the small quantities, these are the small quantities, and these kilometers are the big quantities. Kilometer. Next one is the biggest quantity of meter is light year. Light year, light year, that is, it is represented by small l, small y. That a factor of this is 9.46 into 10 raised to power of 15. We can define light year as such. We can define light year like this: time traveled by, a light traveled by, uh, the light traveled in 1 year is called light year. Simply, we can define like this. The simple definition of light year is light traveled in 1 year. That is, distance covered by the light in 1 year is called a light year. Or you can, I'll write the definition like this. The definition of light year: the total distance covered by light in a year is called light year. Light year. This is the definition of light year. Next one is, this is all about, this is the complete information about length. Next we'll discuss about mass. Okay. Next one is mass. So basically, mass. So the SI unit of mass is kg. This is the SI unit. The SI unit of mass is kg, while it was previously denoted by specific volume of water, that is 1 liter, or you can say, or 10 raised to the power of 10 cubic centimeter. The current definition is based on the prototype platinum iridium cylinder. We'll discuss some of the small and big quantities of mass, that is gram represented by small g, and 1 gram is equal to 10 raised to the power minus 3 kg. Okay. Next one is milligram. Small, these are the small quantities. Milligram, mg, it is 10 raised to the power minus 6 kg. Okay. Next one is quintal. These are the big quantities. These are small, and these are big. Quintal. Quintal. Quintal, that is small q, 10 raised to the power of 2. That is 100 kg is nothing but quintal. 100 kg. You can say, you can purchase like, when you go to the rice shop, they will say 1 quintal. Mean you, if you need 1 quintal, you will say 100 kg. In terms of 100 kg, you can use the term quintal. 1 quintal rice, right? Quintal means 10 raised to the power of 2. That is 100. So you can say 100 kg. Okay. Next one is ton. Capital T. It is represented by capital T. That is 1000 kg. Or you can say 10 raised to the power of 3 kg. So 1000 kg is called 1 ton. So this is the complete information about mass. Let us move on to the next thing, that is time. Next quantity. Time. Okay. Let us discuss about time. So time, the SI unit of time is seconds. The SI unit of time is seconds. Originally it was defined as the amount of time the earth need to make 1 by 86,400 of the rotation. That is, it is defined as like this: the amount of time, it is defined as the amount of time that the earth needs to make 1 by 86,400 of a rotation. It's called time rotation. Okay. Okay. Next one, we'll discuss the small and big units of time. First one is microsecond. Microseconds. Microsecond, that is microsecond. The micro is 10 to the power of minus 6. Micro minus 6. This is microsecond. Next one is millisecond. Milliseconds. Small m, capital S, that is millisecond is 10 to the power of minus 3 second. Next one is R, or sorry, next one is minute. Minute, that is 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Next one is R, small h, small r, and one 1 hour will have 36,000 seconds. Sorry, 3,600 seconds. Basically, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, and each 60 minute will have 60 seconds. Every minute will have 60 seconds. So 6 into 6, it will be 36. So we can write like this. So 1 hour will have 60 minutes, and each minute will have, and every minute will have 60 seconds. 60 into 60, that will be 3,600. So it's 3,600 seconds. Okay. This is the complete information about the second question. Let us move on to the next question. Let us move on to the next concept, that is work, power, and pressure. We'll discuss one by one. So in the question arises like this. Question number 3. Discuss in detail about work, power, and pressure. We'll discuss one by one. So first thing is we'll discuss about work. So work can be defined like this. Solution. Work. So every day we say like today too much work was there. The hectic schedule. I was very busy in work. So let us see what is work. So basically, work is force into displacement. So we can define like this. Work is a product of force and displacement. You can define like this. Work is a product of force and displacement. So for work need to be done. Any one quantity should be there. Either force should be there, or the distance should be there. Displacement of the object should be there, or both is also fine, right? So it is a product of force, and this is force. This is displacement. So next one is what is the unit of work? The unit of work is joules, or you can simply force into Newton meter, or you can SI unit of work is Newton meter. The unit of work is Newton meter. Example of work done is the example of work done is we can write like this: horse pulling a plow. Horse pulling a plow through the field. through the field. Okay, this is about the work. Okay, work is nothing but force into displacement. We can define like this: work is a product of force and displacement. Next one we will discuss about power. Next one will discuss power. Okay, let us learn the definition of power. Power is nothing but power can be defined like this. Power is defined as the rate of doing work. The rate of doing work is called power. Rate of doing work is called power. Let us see the mathematical expression of power. So power can be represented like this, or you can power can be represented power is equal to work by time, work by time, work or energy by time. See, work and energy both are same thing. Energy by time. So this is the mathematical expression of power. Okay. So rate of doing work is called power. So the mathematical expression is power is equal to work by time, or we can take energy by time. Okay. Let us see what are the SI unit of power. The SI unit of power, is watt, capital W, watt, or SI unit of power can be watt or joules per second. Joules per second. Joules, not capital J, small j. Joules per second. Joules per second. Okay. The SI unit of power is watt or joules per second. No, the electrical component and the energy matter in the house is used as kilowatt hour. In house, we use as the unit of power will be kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour, right? Next one is 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 unit. That is 1 unit is nothing but we burn 1 unit of electricity, right? What is 1 unit? 1 unit is nothing but 1 kilowatt hour. 1 kilowatt of power has been consumed in every hour. It's called 1 kilowatt hour. Okay, it is called unit. This is a unit of energy. So it could change okay. Next one is there are two ways to measure the power. First one is instantaneous. First one is instantaneous. First one is instantaneous, and instantaneous is nothing but power at any given moment of time is called instantaneous. The power can be measured. The measure of power, the instantaneous method is the power at any given moment of time is instantaneous, and the second one is, one second. And the next one is average. Next one is average. So average can be the total energy used divided by time. So basically total energy by total time. Time is called average. Okay. Next one, next thing, the next concept of this is power. We'll discuss about power. Sorry, not power, pressure. Third is pressure. Pressure can be defined like this. No, pressure is force per unit area, or you can say force by area. So pressure can be defined like this. So pressure is defined as force per area, force per unit area, we can call it as force per unit area, but pressure, okay, the unit of pressure is Pascal, the SI unit of pressure is Pascal, the SI unit of power is